Well, didn't expect to do this, but starting off today with an RIP, and did not guess the age until I read it. Rest in peace, Angela Lansbury, star of stage and mostly small screen.
Can we guess the age?
Yeah, go for it. She died on Tuesday.
Gotta be 90s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, she was just always perpetually in her early 60s. You know, just
I go
always.
92.
Okay.
I'll go 94.
Brian.
I'll just take the under and go 89.
96.
Wow.
Long life. Her family said in a statement that, and I'm saying this for a reason, the children of Dame Angela Lansbury are sad to announce their mother died peacefully in her sleep in L.A. 5 days before her 97th birthday. She's from London. She did everything. You may remember her most notably, depending on how old you are. She was the teapot in Beauty and the Beast. Of course, Jessica Fletcher in the long-running show Murder, She Wrote. She won a shit ton of Tonys. Sweeney Todd, Mame, Dear World, Gypsy, Blithe Spirit. Yes.
Have you and Sonny dove into The Manchurian Candidate?
No, we have not.
What a fucking masterpiece. She's the villain. And
She is.
in the discussion for best female villain in film history. She's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've seen it, but I haven't seen it with Sonny.
Have you and Sonny dug into Murder, She Wrote?
Yeah, we took a deep dive.
Cabot
We got
Cove.
the Criteria collection.
Well, speaking of best villain, she was in Sweeney Todd. I mean, she's fucking great.
Yeah, she was great. I was thinking, you can keep going, Gina. Or think about keep going.
That's really all I have on Angela Lansbury.
Because I was thinking about.
Can I buy you some time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, please.
I coached high school football for 2 years. I coached her grandson, unbeknownst to me, Charles Lansbury. I didn't know they were related, and he made a bad throw. He was the quarterback. He made a bad throw at practice one day, and hilarious me, I said, "Come on, man, you look like Angela Lansbury on that throw." He goes, "That's my grandma."
Oh,
wow.
Oh, shit, really?
I saw her at
I'm still hung up on you being a football coach.
Coach.
Okay, okay.
That was a good coach.
I saw her at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was glorious, and it was this big, tribute to Sondheim, and everyone was there, and it was iconic, and all the gays and me were crying, we're clapping, and she comes out at the very end for her final bow and busts her ass, trips over something.
Oh, really?
And collectively, thousands of people just, but she got up, and she was okay.
The comedian I was thinking of, and this is why I was thinking, and Angela Lansbury never really went down this road, but you can look up, Chris, comedian Martha Ray, because when I was hanging around at Sid Croft's house of Sid and Marty Croft, he was like, "Oh, Martha Ray, one of the funniest stand-ups ever." And I was like, "Oh, the denture polydent woman, Martha Ray?" And he's like, "No, the star of Broadway, Martha Ray." And I was like, "Polydent lady, right? From the 70s.
Are we talking
and
about
it's
the same person, at least?
So what ends up happening is you are this great comedian, but that's a bygone era, and then you turn 68 and you need to get paid, so you become the polydent.
Right.
Which is glue for false teeth.
Right.
And then young Adam Carolla only knows you from your work with glue, with teeth glue.
Right.
And you say the same, like Agnes Moorehead. Yeah, she was the bewitched lady. She was the bitch who
It's like Jimmy Walker. It's like J.J. Walker.
Yeah.
He's just doing those commercials now. And nobody knows because when he goes dynamite, I remember my son was like, "Why does he say dynamite?" And I was like, "You gotta."
Yeah, you had to have been there.
Yeah. Martha, you can find Polydent. I think she was known as Big Mouth. So
that's nice.
The Big Mouth, yeah.
What was Art Linkletter famous for besides Craftmatic adjustable beds?
He was a host of Kids Say the Darndest Things.
Well, there you go. He's
I
just
think,
the Craftmatic adjustable bed guy.
And Phil Rizzuto worked for the Money Store. We didn't know he was an all-star Yankee.
Baseball player.
I mean? Like, this is the danger of
Eric
this.
Estrada sells land in Oregon.
Right.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those late night commercials.
Tom Selleck wants to do a reverse mortgage.
I got to push back. That is some of the most thoughtful acting I've ever seen. Like when he's walking toward the camera, those commercials.
He's exceptionally earnest.
You got to find that one too. You got to find the reverse mortgage. I mean, when he's explaining that it's a loan.
This isn't my first rodeo.
Yeah, we're not taking your house. I mean,
he really seems like he cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really in it. Yeah.
Seniors have a lot of questions.
Most of the guys are up there, William Devane telling you to buy gold. He's just reading a fucking prompter. He doesn't even know what's on there. But Tom really moved into that world.
Yes.
He lived in that space.
But he also has a TV show. So he's the one guy out of all of them who doesn't.
Maybe he's doing it because he's that passionate about it. I mean, that's our logical conclusion. He must have come to that.
Too many seniors are getting false information. Let me set it straight.
Martha, was it Martha Ray?
Ray.
Yeah. Who was a big female comedian for Polydent.
I didn't know she was a comedian. I remember this commercial though.
That's the sad part.
Yeah.
So you got to start thinking, what are we going to remember you for? Not stand up.
That's what dentures look like?
She would.
Yeah, I was going to say, those dentures look
kind of weird.
Commercials were either for how to clean your dentures or how to keep them glued to your gums.
Right.
And that was a lot of commercials. Now everyone's got they got the
veneers,
the veneers and the screw-in ones with the post and all that kind of stuff. But you used to take your teeth out at night.
And then wasn't there a side cottage industry for denture wearers, for toothpaste, for denture wearers, for smokers?
Topal.
Yes.
But that wasn't for dentures. That was just the smoker's toothpaste.
Smoker's toothpaste. Topal.
Yeah. There should be, I'd like to come out with a Hesher's toothpaste, like rip a lot of bong loads. I can see it in your teeth. Topal, the Hesher's toothpaste. Like, hey, dude, when you get pulled over, you don't want your mouth smell like a bong, do you, dude? You want it to be minty fresh. Yeah.
I definitely need one of those for sure. I could have used one of those coming over here today.
Yeah.
There's Smokers Polydent. Oh, so they have.
I knew it.
I would just use this. Even
Nice
if I
work.
didn't smoke, I'd use the smoker stuff. I'd just look at it as higher.
Extra strength.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just do the smoker one anyways? That looks like it's going to clean it off a little more than the regular one. I also, commercials, at what year did they start to become entertainment? Because back then, it was pure information.
Yes.
And there was a turn where it started to become all entertainment, but I don't remember when, that was pure information.
Like a 60-second story with an arc.
Yeah, there's something funny.
Call me Jay. Call me Jay probably helped turn it all around.
You can call me Jay.
Martha's earlier career. Also, if you really think about it, the person, like, how many units are you moving of the smokers, dentures, cleaner stuff? Because you've lost all your teeth and you're a chain smoker. How many years are you going to be a client?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what demo are we talking about here? Toothless chain smokers? What's over under 4 months?
I think my grandma, not the mean one, kept them in business for many years.
Wow.
She had dentures and she smoked.
Oh, really? Because I figured
yes.
like you wouldn't get through the first pack of that stuff.
No.
Oh, man.
Grandma
Dentures and
Lanzini,
smoke.
come on.
I think at that point, I'm just going toothless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
easier to smoke.
Yeah, I think so. And who am I impressing?
That's true at that point.
Yeah, it's like I live in Vegas now. One of my favorite things to see is the old lady at the slot machine, no teeth, smoking a cigarette with the oxygen tank. I'm like, this lady's no quitter.
With the nose cannula.
nose thing. She's smoking with the oxygen.
Oh, my God.
It's fucking perfect.
You know what, though? You know what never gets talked about? And I often in my adulthood think about this in my darker moments. We talk about dentures because you lose your teeth. When do you lose your teeth? When is that going to happen for me? When do your teeth
fine.
fall out?
I think it was modern orthodonture.
Modern orthodonture.
But
you'll be fine.
But they fall out.
No. They go bad. They take them out.
By the way,
God.
you really have to try at this point.
Okay, because I thought we don't talk. Nobody talks about when are we going to lose our
You'll
teeth.
be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
we
you.
got Martha's credits.
Oh,
Yeah, so for Broadway, made her Broadway debut in Harry Aske's musical Calling All Stars in 1934. Also went on to be in Hold On to Your Hats, Hello Dolly, and No No Nanette.
No Nanette, yeah.
And then in 1936, she signed on with Paramount Pictures. Her first movie was Rhythm on the Range with Bing Crosby. And then she was a cast member in Al Jolson's show The Life Buoy Program, also called Cafe Trocadero, where she would appear with many of the leading comics of her day, including Joe E. Brown, Bob Hope, W.C. Fields, Abbott and Costello, Charlie Chaplin, and Jimmy Durante.
But I know her as the denture lady.
It's all she'll ever
So, Josh,
be.
you got to pick, what's going to be your thing? Is it going to be land? Are we going to talk about reverse mortgages? Are we talking dentures?
Showers with the door that you walk into?
That's mine.
Oh, sorry.
I took the door shower one.
I think something
Stair lifts.
I like stair lifts. I think because I smoke a lot of weed and I think walking upstairs eventually might be a problem for me. I think one of those chair lifts would be great because I'm going to trick it out a little bit.
Oh, sure. You got to pimp it.
Yeah, I'm going to pimp it out a little bit.
Well, we kind of need you to be a spokesperson, not modify our product.
You have to stock.
You're right. That's right. But I like the one. I like the going. But I think I can picture myself coming like the slow down, and talking to them. And when it gets to the bottom stair, just kind of, it lifts you up out of your seat. Hi, I'm Josh Wolf.
Yeah, I'm buying.
That is pretty.
It's just a long intro of you coming down the stairs.
I'd like to live in a world where that staircase thing got extended right to the bathroom tub door, and I just got dropped off into the water.
It's just track. But why not?
But what
it's
if
just another 8 foot?
What if it drops you onto a moving sidewalk, which then moves you just into
You're not being
your
practical now.
That's
Jeff.
insane.
Josh,
Josh,
come on.
please, take
Well,
this
that's
seriously.
the crazy part. My fault.
What the permitting process would be for that alone?
I think, but I think I am going to have one of those things in the house.
Yeah, those are great.
It makes total sense. Are you going to rascal it?
I got to tell you, I hopped on an electric bike the last couple of weekends, and it's liberating because the thing that's kind of crazy about riding the electric bikes, one of our sponsors, is, well, there's a couple things I've noticed. One is just a thought. It's an observation. I live in a neighborhood where there's many cyclists. You know what I mean? And the cyclists frequently blow right through the four-way stop signs, or even the one-way, one direction. They just blow through it. And, cars come to a complete stop, but the bike guys blow through it. And I thought, that's the difference between spending your own hard-earned energy to get the momentum versus just pushing your right foot down or whatever. It's like, who cares? These guys struggled up the hill. Now they're going 28 miles an hour, and they don't want to burn it. They don't want to scrub it off. But the thing about riding the electric bike, it's essentially like driving a car if there were no traffic laws. Like you have this weird empowerment feeling where you go buzzing like, the lights, I'll just buzz up the sidewalk and then slide into the side street and then buzz across and then buzz across there. It's inherently much more dangerous than driving a car, but the car gives you this illusion of like, I don't want to get a ticket. There's no way I'm going to take the car and just blow through all this stuff or buzz all this thing. The electric bike, you have this feeling of like, I'm just buzzing along above the law. Can't
How
be touched.
fast? What's top speed?
That'd go like 25 miles an hour. The other thing, too, is when you factor in the never coming to a complete stop and not obeying any posted traffic rules, if you're just doing 6 miles across this part of town to that part of town, you will get there just as fast on an electric bike as you will in a car.
I will tell you, we live in Vegas. We live in a place where there's a lot of hills, and I see a lot of people on their bicycles. And first of all, the bike riders, when they're in first gear and they pedal like 40 times,
fast.
but they only go 1 foot.
Yes.
That looks infuriating.
Yes.
Like if I move my legs that many times and I only go half a foot, I'm going to fucking murder somebody. Like I don't understand why I'm putting this much effort in. I also will say, I spent, last time I was in Portland, Oregon, I grew a little bit of disdain for people on bicycles. They in traffic are so, I don't know what
entitled.
Oh my God.
I'll say it.
This one guy, I was in an Uber, right? And we're in Portland, and the guy is doing 20 down in the middle of the street.
Right.
And I go to the Uber guy. I go, will you honk? He was like, yeah, I don't want to honk. I go, why not? He goes, he's going to get real mad. I'm like, who? We're in a car.
And what?
We're in a car.
Right.
I go, just honk. I'll handle it. I was like, but I'm not staying 20 behind this dude on a 10 speed.
Right.
What are we fucking? He was like, they get real mad. I'm like, who gives a shit?
I was driving You got to find Selleck's reverse mortgage commercial because really he puts on a
So
clinic.
earnest.
It's so good.
And a set card. I was driving over here. There's I don't know what is that Western or something that leads to the freeway.
Yes.
There's oftentimes. Oh, it wasn't Western Victory or well, whatever it was, whatever the off ramp is off the 134. And there's groups. There's groups. They do the whole group. You know, this is 18 guys.
I know what you're talking about.
All taking up the whole fucking lane. You know, and I'm driving an SUV with the V8 in it, and I'm like, okay, and I simply go around them. Like I literally went around. There was nobody coming the other direction. There's no traffic. I just sort of buzzed around. They were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It's like.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know what you mean. I'm going somewhere. I didn't do anything.
Was I
to
supposed
you.
to go through you?
The plan
I'm in
was
a car.
It's like, wait, bitch. That's their thing.
He's wearing a vest, Selleck in this.
Yeah.
And he-
Maybe I
yeah.
should have stuck with the
Well, he
vest.
can pull it off.
Let's see what he has to say. Okay.
I got a couple questions
Yeah,
for you.
go
Those
ahead.
kids.
Do you think it was the director's idea or Selleck where he was like, I need a coffee mug?
Yeah, I need an empty coffee
He
mug.
needs business, stage business.
You think that's what it was? I need a little.
I think you're
I
right.
gotta slam it down. It's got to sound super teeny and empty.
He sounded very earnest. I want to know more about a jumbo reverse mortgage, but watching him made me realize we all forgot the perennial all-star. The king of what did he do besides pitch that thing? Wilford Brimley diabetes testing supplies.
That's true.
Yeah.
The king.
Yeah.
I feel like
Because that's all he's known for.
That's it.
I feel like the guys doing the analytics are like they're signing Tom up every year because they're like, Tom, let me tell you, we don't get this too often. 42% of people who signed up live in apartments. That's how fucking good you are at selling
Convincing
this
you
shit. They think they can get a reverse balloon on their cleaning deposit. You, my friend, could sell snow to an Eskimo.
Now let me ask you something. Do you think it helps? How old do you think he is?
He could be a surprising like 72.
I agree.
Like you could go, holy shit.
I think he's older than that.
I think
Older
72.
than 72.
I think 72 feels about right. But do you think the fact that he still looks good helps him sell that to that age group?
Oh, sure.
yeah.
He's
Do you want to
vital.
know his age?
I go 72 also.
72?
Yep.
77.
Whoa! He
Wow.
looks great.
Yeah.
That
amazing.
mustache is 24.
Yeah. That's true.
Yo, that is still the best mustache going.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a couple more, Gina
All right.
Grad.
Well, in honor of our guest, I'm bumping this one up to the top. Researchers at the University of California, LA, UCLA, are working with a company called Electrotect to develop a marijuana breathalyzer. They're currently testing the cannabinoid fuel cell that they say is a big step toward developing a marijuana breath analyzer, similar to the ones that we have for alcohol. The goal, of course, is to perfect a gadget that can test for both alcohol and THC, letting law enforcement officials make quick and accurate calls while on the scene.
So you can...
You can test high.
Because right
Yeah.
now, I have been pulled over at a checkpoint high before.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
And it was Ventura and Sepulveda. Mm-hmm. And I was driving back when I was still living out here. I was driving back to my house from the Comedy Store. And there was a point on Ventura where I would just light a joint because I knew I was like 10 minutes from my house. And I hit that, I drove
I do
past.
that with scotch.
I drove.
Let me get into this Cutty Sark. I'm only 9 minutes from my house.
You're timing it out. You're
Yeah.
like, I can't be too fucked up by the time I get home. I should
Right.
be all right. I passed the sign. I wasn't wearing my glasses, so I passed the sign that said checkpoint. And I remember at one point a friend of mine who was in law enforcement say, "Don't turn around."
Never
Oh,
U-turn.
never turn around.
Never.
He was like,
Don't do an e-brake.
Yeah, he was like, "You're better off." He was like, "You're better off just trying to."
Yes.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you turn
Yes.
around, he's like, "We see you.
Right.
We're right there." You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
So I have to tell you, all I was thinking as I was pulling up is just don't look high. Just don't, you're going to be fine. Just don't look high. Don't look high. And I roll down the window. And I go, "Good evening, officer." And he goes, "Can you pull it over?" And I was like, fuck.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's how quickly
Wow.
he let the two people in front of me through. So I was like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm totally good." And I wasn't.
And you seem like you may be like a veteran smoker.
Yeah, I'm good.
So you weren't totally bloodshot and your eyes weren't closed.
No. So I had prepared myself. I'm a Visine dude. And so I was like, you just have to not act high. But the first mistake I made is he pulled me over, right? And I rolled down the window just like this much.
Oh, boy.
And he stuck his lips in the car and he goes, "Can you roll it down a couple more inches for me, please?"
Wow.
I want to get hot boxed.
And I was like, "Yep." And when I rolled it down, he basically stuck his whole head in the car and sniffed me like a velociraptor.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, you're fine." And I was thinking to myself, "You're bad at your job."
Wow. Yeah.
I was hotboxing 50 feet from here.
Wow.
You're really bad at your job. Yeah.
Wow.
And I drove home. You know when you're so nervous you can feel your heartbeat in your butthole?
Sure.
That's where
yeah.
I was. I was sitting there like, oh my
Right,
Lord.
my heartbeat, right? Not yours.
Yeah.
That makes me nervous. Now I am feeling it.
Boy, you are nervous.
Picturing this throbbing in my butthole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, the whole thing is, I was actually talking to Dr. Drew about this earlier today. Pot is high octane now, and it affects people, and it's a thing, and people are altered. And if you're going to be altered over 3 beers, then you can be altered over a joint, and that's kind of where we're at.
It's different weed than when you and I were growing up. We could smoke a whole joint and be fine. If you smoke a whole joint of the wrong weed now,
You'll be in the hospital.
you're going to have some problems.
And also, back in the day when you'd smoke weed, they wouldn't ask you what you wanted it to do.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Right.
you want to go to sleep or do you want to lead a parade?
Yeah.
We were like, I'd like to get high. You want to get high? Or there wasn't now. It's like, you have a big test coming up?
Yeah.
I got this weed. Like, they got the weed for...
How do you want to feel?
You want to tell your dad you're gay? Let me get this.
It was more like, I'm going to be in the woods with my friends.
Fucked up.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
That's it.
there's one weed that's I will
The
get
weed.
high
Yes.
weed.
Yes.
I remember the first guy who used to sell me weed, a guy, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm sure statute of limitations gone.
Name him.
This dude named
Scott Wolf.
good dude named Billy Harrison. And so Billy actually he sold me weed in a jacket like this. And he used to sell it. The first job I ever got, I was 13 and I washed dishes in a kitchen. And I remember at 14, Billy used to come right back into the kitchen and sell me weed. And I remember this one time he gave me weed and it had some seeds in it. And I said to him, I go, "What? I don't understand what's with the seeds." And you could see the light just go off in his head. He was like, "Oh, those are good."
Oh, no.
He was like, "Do you can plant those?" He goes, "Do you want me to give you more seeds in your
no.
next bag?"
Yeah, it stems.
And I was like, "Seeds?" I go, "So seeds will grow it?" He goes, "Yeah, I tell you what, I'm not going to give you as much weed because the seeds are more valuable." So I remember
Jack and the Beanstalk
this
over
dude
here.
Yeah.
that was giving me like half weed, half seeds. And I remember I said to my oldest brother, I had bought like 4 bags and I had all these seeds. And my oldest brother was 6 years older than me, so he's like 20. And I go, "I got to show you something." He goes, "What's up?" And I show him. I go, "Look what I've been buying." He goes, "Are those seeds?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "What are you going to do with those?" He goes, "I'm going to plant." I go, "I'm going to plant them." He goes, "Dude, stop buying drugs. You're too dumb to buy drugs." He said, "This is bad." He goes, "Well, first of all, what's the game plan? You're going to plant them in mom's garden? You're just going to go plant weed in the backyard?" I go, "I don't know. I was going to go down the end of the street." "What? To plant weed at the end of the street?" He goes, "You really didn't think this out." He goes, "Plus, these seeds aren't going to grow any. This dude is ripping you off."
Could make you
The
sterile.
guy came to the kitchen and said, "I got artichoke, but I removed the hearts. You don't want that stinky organ in there.
You like
Some
oregano?
nice sharp leaves."
Yeah, but I definitely had. I remember he showed up next time. I'm like, "Billy, you've been ripping me off," and he was like, "What? Who told you that?" I'm like, "My brother Adam." He was like, "Yeah, I'll get you weed next time." Okay, good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad you confronted him.
Yeah, why not? I wanted
All
my
right,
stinky weed.
One more, Gina
All
Grad.
right. Let's go to New Zealand for this one then. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has confirmed at a press conference that her government will push ahead with a proposal to make farmers pay for their livestock's gas emissions in a bid to combat climate change. And yeah, I'm talking about cow burps, cow farts.
How do you quantify that?
Hold on. New Zealand is a major livestock and meat exporter and has around 10 million cattle, 26 million sheep. Farming accounts for half of the country's total emissions. So in their country, the ozone's just wreaked havoc.
From cow farts?
Cow farts,
Oh, yeah.
allegedly.
It's a thing.
Attempting to find ways to counteract this, researchers at a dairy company are trialing effects of something called kombucha, which is a probiotic thought to reduce the methane-emitting burps, at least.
I'm for this. I don't like big government. I don't like the way New Zealand handled COVID, and they're getting out of control over there. But I do like this idea because I think we're going to start breeding cattle who
Fartless
fart
cows?
less, and then that's going to lead to human, where we can take humans and breed them not to fart.
That'd be great.
And that's a breakthrough.
I think we'd be going backwards. I mean, there's something funny about the fart still.
It
It's
is
definitely funny.
Yeah, it's something funny.
Look, the hardest I've laughed in the last 20 years is whenever they do those videos of the guy
Costco.
walking at the Costco farting into the PA.
Yeah. You don't want to take that away, do you?
But that
you're
person
right.
would be held up as a king
But
because
take
he's
the
going to
cows
do it.
away. Take the cows away, but you can't take our.
No,
like
come
this
on.
is part of my
Then they
entertainment.
came for ours.
That's right.
Fine Costco fart guy. I can't. I start laughing just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget AJ Benz's nephew.
That's right. And
What was that?
He can do all
Nick
kinds of farts.
Santora had he collected his farts. as
What do you
well.
mean?
Oh, audibly.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he just recorded all of them?
Yeah, and he named them. But the thing, he would name them. He named them like, you ever go to the Home Depot and look at the paint samples?
Yeah.
And you'd be like,
Yeah.
I want it just kind of gray. And then you went Harvest Mist or Navajo green. And you'd go, I don't, they give these crazy names. Nick named his farts.
Like Autumn Sunrise.
Yeah.
I
Huge
love
charcoal.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was the guy.
Be prepared to be happy.
That was it.
It's the greatest American.
Can I tell you what I love about him?
Oh, God.
I love his leg twist.
Yeah.
I love his single leg twist to get that fart out. He knows the optimum move of his butt cheek to make sure he gets
Yeah.
the best sound.
Sound quality.
Like he's shot in a put, like a shot putter, like the move, the rotation,
Yeah.
the launch.
And that
all that.
seriously sounds like a tuba.
It's the reverberation that I love.
Look at that. Yeah. And you know what else is good? He really looks like he got that intercom in there.
Oh, yeah. That went internal.
It didn't hover.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it got sucked in.
Yeah, if it didn't have the cord on it, it'd be lost. All right, let's bring it home.
Okay, I'm
I knew
Gina
that'd
Grad,
make
and
me
that's
laugh.
the news.
You know when you're so nervous you can feel your heartbeat in your butthole?
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Oh, all right. Let me tell you about my friend Jordan Harbinger. All right, let's see. Let's give some plugs out. Jorge Masvidal, Icon Fighting Championship that's coming up October 14th, and you can check that out on UFC Fight Pass. Josh Wolf shows coming up. Portland, Helium Comedy Club tomorrow, as you hear this, through Saturday, and then Omaha, Funny Bone, October 21st and 22nd as well. Family Tussle, the YouTube show everyone's talking about as well. Yes, Josh.
Just so you know, that show premieres tonight on my YouTube channel.
Perfect.
It is a father-son competition show where the loser has to do a really embarrassing thing.
And it is really funny because I've already seen it. So, until next time. And you can find us, San Diego Mic Drop Comedy. That'll be October 28th and 29th. Until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Josh Wolf and Jorge Masvidal and Gina Grad and Paul Bryan saying mahalo.